Martin served in the military for many years. He lives at the Veteran Center close by the Green Line.
What's happening in the neighborhood right now, well, for me, it's getting better. Okay. I was born around this neighborhood a long time ago, and the thing is that things go bad when things go so bad so far that enough is enough, so it winds up getting better, and that's exactly what it's doing now.
Miss Lee has been open in Chicago over 30 years from Mississippi. Miss Lee's Good Food has been open for 17 years.
For the last 2 or 3 years, you can see the difference in the improvement. You know, some not standing on the street corners and whatnot. It has been an improvement on that part, but we do need some more business in the neighborhood. I just like the neighborhood, and I see the change. Okay, with the young people, with the change coming, because you got a mixology more now. I love my black people, but we all need to be together and be as one, and then you see that mixology in there, it's gonna make the neighborhood good. Don't forget my bread.
Miss Lee's favorite food is her bread pudding and her dressing.
Right now, because of the regentrification of the community, there's been an opportunity for the kids to come and reach out because of the way the environment was before. It hasn't been in this community a lot of activities geared and target towards young people.
For me, I come here after school every time, sometimes to keep me calm or careful. You know what I'm thinking about, I could come here just to be peaceful and just, loving. Cleo's like a second part of my family, so I would say that.
Do you have any stories about this neighborhood?
I went to school here, went to the University of Chicago, and I liked it very much.
About Washington Park.
Oh, about Washington Park.
This
I thought you said the neighborhood.
This used to be a racetrack.
Used to be a
horse racetrack. And that building over there, all those doors, in a row, those used to be horse stables.
And when I was a little girl, I was born and raised in Chicago. And when I was a little girl, I came to some of the races with my grandpa. And when you go over there, look, and you'll see how those doors open. You see the lines of doors. That was where they kept the horses that were in the races. The racetrack was over there.
Robert Hunter was born in 1954, and he works in a barber shop.
And so they went to Washington, came with a thing called urban renewal. That means they can buy your business and buy your house for nothing and give it to the University of Chicago. So the University of Chicago bought all that land from Cottage Grove to Lake Park and tore it all down when there's all those businesses there and planted grass. That's when you see all that grass from Cottage Grove to Lake Park. They only left one thing down there, Jimmy Woodline Tap down there. That's the only building was standing. And they made that university apartment building in the middle of the street down there. You can see these pictures about this neighborhood in the University Bank on 53rd and Lake Park down there.
There is probably more affluence. And that has its merits and its demerits. But I would say the soul of Hyde Park hasn't changed.
Oh, I've seen tremendous change in this neighborhood and in the whole South Side. During the 24 years, I drive from the south suburbs of Chicago, and so I drive down Stony Island every single day, and have just seen wonderful change. I mean, Hyde Park has just become a much more cosmopolitan place.
Jackie is the manager of Green Line Cafe, which has been around for a little under a year. Green Line Cafe is located on 61st and Woodlawn.
We really got started because of our desire to create jobs in our neighborhood. Years ago, 61st Street used to be booming with tons of businesses, and so we really want to get that back. We want to create jobs and to provide quality food, quality service for our neighborhood. Because lots of times people think about Woodlawn and they think about just the negative, but there's so much beauty in this neighborhood, and so we wanted Green Line to be a place where the beauty of our neighborhood could be celebrated and where people can get together and network.
Change about the community, I think that oftentimes young people don't realize what resources the museums in our community have to offer. There are many museums that you can walk to or that you can take the bus to right here in the Hyde Park area. And I'll go over to the Oriental Museum at after school hours and no young people are there. Or I'll go to the Smart Museum and I don't see very many youth, but all of these places offer different experiences for you and your family.
My name is Delphine Green. I love the African pieces and the Ankh is definitely I love. The Harold Washington wing, Harold Washington room. I'm sorry. I remember back when I was in high school. I've heard a lot about him then. I was younger. Didn't pay a lot of attention to politics until he came along. He was the first African American mayor of Chicago prior to passing. He would have did a lot for Chicago and for African Americans in Chicago. So he's dearly missed, and I also think that they need to mention his name.